If you watch our show often, and we sure hope you do, you know that we're local news. Local, local, local. We don't talk about national news very much, but we are going to right now. Let's spend some time on Supreme Court hearings for Ketanji Brown Jackson. If she's confirmed, she'll make history as the first black woman justice on the Supreme Court. Earlier this week, we talked with Marcilynn Burke, the dean of the University of Oregon Law School since 2017. Before coming to Oregon, Burke was appointed as acting secretary of the U.S. Department of the Interior by then-President Barack Obama. For that role, she had to go through a similar confirmation hearing as Jackson, although her process was on a smaller scale.
It's a very similar process. It's nerve-wracking. People ask you about your writings. I was just sharing with someone that I had a hard time reading my own law review articles, right? To read your own writing years later, it just was difficult for me to even do, but I knew that someone's going to ask me about on page 1732, you wrote XYZ. And so being prepared for that. And so she's definitely done all of her homework and is quite prepared. And I'm just really excited and proud of how she's handling these grueling sessions.
With a Democratic majority in the House and Senate, there's a good chance that Jackson will be confirmed. Here's what Burke had to say about what it's going to feel like for her to see a black woman on the Supreme Court.
I think it's going to be a realization of the promise of our country, right? In the scheme of civilization, our country is still young. And we have many great ideals and values, some of which we've done an excellent job in fulfilling and living out, and some others that are truly works in progress. And I think that this, if she becomes the next Associate Justice, as I believe she will, then that will be a magnificent manifestation, right, of the ideals and the values of this country. And so I imagine that I'll cry, quite frankly, because again, to see this movement in my own lifetime, some things that you don't think you'll see in your lifetime, it will be overwhelming emotionally. But I know what it means for the court and the legitimacy of the court and for the citizens' confidence in the rule of law and the pronouncements from the highest court of the land. So as a lawyer, as a Black woman, as a woman from the South with similar backgrounds, it means something to me on so many different levels, and I will be overjoyed when that day comes.
All right, keep sending your questions and comments to the story at kgw.com. When we come back, your chance to fight hunger in our community.